that?
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Format Podcast Live. Supposed to be the Saturday night edition, but the Saturday night edition didn't pop off. You know, holidays are weird. But we moved that for you guys to 11 o'clock today, Sunday, whenever you're listening. But we're recording this. We're going live here on Sunday, December 22nd. Happy holidays to everybody. We still haven't figured out what, if anything, is going to be the schedule for this upcoming holiday week. Everybody's got a lot of different things going on. So we'll see if we can make something happen, but not sure yet. Regardless.
AKA, we're dads.
Yes, we're
fathers, so we got to do the fatherly thing,
and,
right?
You know, we got the holiday piece going on and all that. So I may try to get something out here for you. We'll see what happens. But regardless, we are here today to talk some sports like we always do, and show y'all love and give you all some content, because I know we got some loyal listeners and viewers who probably disappointed they didn't see us last night, but that's okay, because we're here to do what we do. And as you can see on the bottom, our main man G is back. G, what's good?
How's it going, bro?
What's going on, stupid?
Ain't shit, dummy.
You choosing to take breaks and stuff. You keep choosing the wrong time to be exiting the conversation.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
So y'all already know. You see G with the hoodie on. You know what time it is. So we are going to get to that for sure. You already know. We got a college football playoff topic, of course, and you know, I wanted to put the Notre Dame hoodie on, but I said I got to be objective out here. I got to do this the right way. So, you know, rocking for my alma mater, University of North Florida. Can't say it. There you go, UNF. So I'm rocking for them. So you know, I can do that because I went to school there. Willie Brown, what up? What up? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Willie beaming.
No doubt. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit the spiel. And
there go my brother.
We're gonna come back. Oh yeah, we're gonna rock with a couple of quick hits, and then we're gonna get into the main topics, y'all. So yeah. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in the Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't wait. And as you guys know, we've opened up memberships on the channel. So if you're so inclined, make sure you hit that button and join us, become a member. And once we start seeing that happen, we will definitely start giving you that exclusive members only content that we were working on for you. All right. But when we get to that, we'll get to that. But forgive me, I don't have the footage from Tennessee, Ohio State. That game got done pretty late, so I didn't get that. But we will go ahead and we'll start running down this college football playoff thing in the order that the games happen. So first, let me say this, right? I love the fact that the college football playoff has expanded to 12. I have been begging for years for it to expand out to 8. So I was shocked when the NCAA pushed it out to 12. Now, not shocked. Absolutely. So we know that money is the driving factor. We know that. But the reason I was shocked is because the more teams you have involved, the more chance you have for a team who's not one of the traditional powers to get hot and make a run and upset the apple cart. And I'm a guy that I know I'm talking about traditional powers, and I'm a diehard Notre Dame fan. I get it. But like outside of Notre Dame, since like 2006, I've been kind of a quasi Boise State fan, right? Since like 2016, I've been like a quasi UCF fan. Why? Not necessarily because I love those programs, but because I love the fact that those are underdog programs that really have, you know, they're scrappy, they play hard, they're really good programs, generally well coached, kind of have like the second tier players, but are the programs that have the opportunity and are often good enough to really, cause some difficulty if given the opportunity. Like, for instance, that 2017 UCF team that was undefeated under Scott Frost, that team, I've said it over and over again, could have beat anybody in the country that year except for Alabama. Anybody, right? And so I love teams like that can kind of upset things and all right, Laker Nation. Okay, we're gonna get to that, brother. We're gonna get to it. But I love those kind of programs like that, and I think I think it's kind of cool, and I think it's better for the sport. Like, so when we watch college football this season, and I've said it as well, to me, this has been the most exciting college football season I've seen, and I've been watching college football since '93. And I think the ratings across college football across the country are up. The college football playoff ratings, we haven't gotten them yet, but I have a feeling they're going to be crazy. And why is it? It's because you're seeing these, you're seeing a bunch of different programs whose fan bases are involved and invested much later into the season because they have a better opportunity of making it into the playoffs and possibly, making a little run, right? We always say you just got to get in the tournament. Whereas before, okay, it was BCS, you get the top 2 teams, right? So probably by like week 8, week 9, you have an idea who that's going to be. And then you get to a 14 playoff. Okay, it's only still the top 4. So what, by week 8, week 9, maybe week 10, you have an idea who that's going to be. But now with the way this thing is, 12 teams, and I believe it's supposed to push out to 14 in the next couple of years. And so, again, I love it. And one of the other things I love, and then we'll start getting into it, is I love the fact that you're seeing these first round games being played on college campuses. And that's one of the beautiful things about college football is the different environments where you go. You know what I'm saying? You got 105,000 screaming in the shoe. You got 85,000 screaming at Notre Dame Stadium. You got 100,000 plus screaming at Happy Valley for Penn State. You know what I'm saying? You got more than 100,000 going nuts at DRK, Darrell K. Royal Stadium for Texas. So being able to see these beautiful and different environments around the country in college football, I think is freaking awesome for the first round of the playoffs. And it brings oh, my bad, though. That was let me turn that.
Oh, what happened? What happened? That's an alert?
Yeah, it said Bears inactive. So it just has who's
not going to actives and actives. Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm loving what I'm seeing here. And so this first weekend of the tournament, I thought was really cool, even though some of the competitive value in some of these games was a bit underwhelming. So Transformer, man, before we even get into the games, kind of give me your thoughts on how you feel about seeing home games in the first round, how you feel.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Right. To give the sport parity is what the sport needed. Me, I got it so exhausted.
Yes.
Bama, Georgia, Texas, here we go, Ohio State. It's the same schools at the top because they play in the toughest conference. It's the SEC, blah, 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 blah. But we're ignoring the undefeated teams that, just what they didn't play a tough enough schedule to get in, but they went undefeated. They crushed their opponents. Everybody that played them, they lost. Here we go. Georgia has 2 losses, but they get a chance for the title. Like, to me, that just wasn't fair. So I love that. There's a lot more parity, with that, and it came at the perfect time. You extend out the length of the play. I mean, the teams that are invited, but we have the parity of the NIL deals, the transfer portal. People can now legally, I would say this, legally pay money for kids to come to their schools. So you're starting to see a lot of underdog teams just like really, really take that next step. Colorado, for example, what Deion did with that program, the transfer portal, the NIL deals. Boise State, transfer portal, NIL deals. Unfortunately for Clemson, he's not really happy about it. Dapo wanted to use it.
They accepted their first transfer the other day.
They did? Okay, so he's breaking that mold.
It's like if I want to continue to compete, I'm a 2-time champion. There's a lot of money at stake here. If I want to continue to compete, I don't have to completely change everything, but I gotta, adjust a little bit.
True. But yeah, man, like I was saying, I just love that for the sport, man. So now we're seeing a lot more fans, man. I mean, even the fans are happy, right? having that opportunity, you know, Indiana flooding the gates, like, hey, you know, we about to get blown out by Notre Dame, but we're given that opportunity, right? And what that's going to do is going to light that fire in our school. Like, hey, bro, we got more chances now. There's 12 spots to get into this to fight for the big game, right? So I just think that's great for the game, man. Even though, you know, it was a whole lot of butt cutting yesterday, but
right.
But you know, at least they got that opportunity. For example, Florida State last year didn't get that opportunity despite going undefeated, winning their conference.
Right.
And just because we lost Jordan Travis, we're not going to be in the playoffs, which made zero sense to the sport at all. Made zero sense. I don't care what you got in your bylaws, what you got in your criteria to be in the playoffs. Like undefeated, conference champion. What more do you want, right? I don't care if they would have got the doors blown off them by Alabama. Give them their shot. Give them their shot. That was an NFL type defense they was running. You don't know what happens in the game of football, in the sport of football. So, man, you know, but I'm happy about it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and you're 100% right about Florida State. That's the first and only time you saw an undefeated Power 5, now Power 4, but Power 5 at the time, champion not make the playoff. Like, it doesn't matter what would have happened. And then, of course, people use the confirmation bias after they got smoked by Georgia. Oh, see, they didn't deserve to be there. No. We can't use the results after the fact to say someone didn't deserve to be there. If they did what they had to do during their regular season, put them where they deserve to be, that what will be, will be. And real quick before we get to G, and then we get started on the actual games here, one of the other things is, you know, you hear in these situations, well, Team X got smoked, so they shouldn't have been there. That's BS. And the reason why it's BS, I remember a while back, I did a segment where I broke down what are we on? Super Bowl 57, 58 now? Like literally half of the freaking Super Bowls that have been played have been blowouts. But you never hear somebody say, well, Team X didn't deserve to be there, because they did what they had to do to get there. If they got the butt cutting, they got the butt cutting, but they earned the opportunity to get it. And that's
for that spot.
Yeah. So I'm 100% with you on Florida State, man. G, man, what are your thoughts on the changes in college football and the college football playoff and having some home college football playoff games in round one?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all long with this one. I just remember a time when we didn't have that. We didn't, and you know, it was a different time, right? Like I kind of got away from college football just because it was like, oh, they just gonna pick whoever they want to play. I didn't really understand the dynamics of how teams get chose, because I felt like, oh, my team should have been in, but they didn't make it, and I'm like, all right, now it's like,
you kind of expected it at this point, like whatever.
It's gonna take time to change the culture, especially with the transfer portal being the way it is, NIL deals. You're gonna start to see these schools want to really maximize their return, their investments, and put these kids out there as much as they can, which will probably also be bringing in a lot of celebrity or coaches that will draw these players there. Yeah, like Mike Vick. A lot of ex-NFL football players will have better opportunity. You look at North Carolina with Belichick as well, right? I don't think that's not a money pool, right? Like, who wouldn't want to play for Belichick? Who wouldn't want to play for Vick? Like, and so it's just a business, man. It's just a business model, right? They're trying stuff out. It's gonna change.
They're gonna make adjustments. I agree.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to win. You know, you should have to win, and that's how it should have been from the jump. You know, this is football.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so
I was going to quote Cat Williams, but I thought not to.
Yeah, maybe not.
Hey, Transform, you know exactly what I was talking about.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yo, spare him, G. Spare him. Hey, brought tears, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll get into. We've kind of given some background and some thoughts on college football, current state, and the college football playoff, which again I'm so excited about and I love it. So we will go kind of in the order of these first round games as they were played. So of course, where will we begin? We will begin on the most hallowed ground in college football, South Bend, Indiana, at the University of Notre Dame, where they played. And real quick, I know I'm biased, but how appropriate is it that, you know, arguably the biggest brand in the sport and arguably probably the most historically great program in Notre Dame is the place where the very first college football playoff home game was held. Real talk. Until like 10 years ago, the college football Hall of Fame was in South Bend, Indiana. So
go Irish. That's all I got. Hey, we just letting you have your moment. We letting you have your moment.
No, I mean,
man, the most hallowed ground.
Appropriate. What
the most blessed ground. Like, whoa, man! Like he's getting really into it now.
No. I mean, in all seriousness, in terms of just
payroll, yeah.
Nah, man. I'll say this real talk. I'm not Catholic. And I've been to Notre Dame twice now. It's one of those places like you get a different feeling when you're there. Like if you love college football, whether you like them or not, that's one of those places that should be on your bucket list to go. It's just different. It really is. Yeah. Real quick, Transformer. Last year I told my daughter goes to FAMU, so we went to go see her out in Tallahassee, and we were driving by, and I was like, "Oh, that's Doak Campbell." So I went. We stopped off. I said, "I got to get out the car, take some pictures." And you're standing there by the Chief Osceola statue, and you're standing in front of Doak Campbell, and you're like, "Wow, there have been some legendary freaking moments here." Like, it's certain places, whether you're a fan of that program or not.
Yeah,
if you love the sport, like you got to go there, right? And that's one of those places, in my humble estimation. Like a nation, you a fool, bro. No, but I mean,
like, we're starting out with the most hollowed ground. I was like, whoa. What are we talking about?
You stupid.
What's happening here?
Gee, you a fool,
G instantly. Oh my God, bro. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Why does that game have to be first? It's so fitting that we start off in the most hollow ground in the world.
Realistically, but okay.
The gold and the glamour, the sport of the game. You're like, oh, moment of silence, please.
No, but in all seriousness, like there's certain places like I want to go at some point, God willing, I want to go to Happy Valley and go there for a whiteout night game. I want to go to Wisconsin and experience the jump around. There's just certain places within the sport that you want to see, so. But anyway, so it starts at Notre Dame, and Notre Dame plays Indiana in the first round. That's a 7-10 matchup. Two extremely good defensive teams. Two teams that tend to be Notre Dame, one of the best rushing teams in the league in the country. Indiana, the best rush defense in the country coming in. And a lot of people felt like maybe Indiana shouldn't be there. They didn't play the greatest of schedules. Notre Dame, in fairness, didn't play the greatest of schedules either. There's stuff behind that, but so be it. And Notre Dame comes away with the win 27-17. And that score looks a lot closer than the game itself was. Notre Dame dominated the game for most of the way. At one point, thank you, Transformer. At one point, it was 27-3. And Indiana got a couple of late touchdowns to try to make it look respectable. But one of the biggest things was, just Kurt Signetti, man, that dude, really good coach of the year. But I want to say a top 10 rushing offense in the country, and they just played really well. Earlier, we saw Notre Dame get the interception, and that was All-American safety Xavier Watts.
They broke it out early, right? Notre Dame didn't play with their food. They know what they want. They're tired of hearing the noise, I would say, of, finally getting to these moments and not being able to thrive in these moments. And I think they're putting that on their shoulders right now. And it showed in this football game where, hey, we're going to get an interception on the first drive, and we're going to take it to the house for 98 yards on the first drive. So they pretty much set the tone for the playoffs, in my opinion, and definitely should put Georgia on notice, especially if Carson Beck doesn't play.
He's not playing.
He's not playing. So I think that gives them an extra piece of motivation, right? Kirby Smart is actually a great coach over there in Georgia, but, Notre Dame is nothing to play around with. And I think that's what they, showed in this game. That, hey, we can dominate you on the defensive side. That's where we hang our hats. But, we can still make breakout plays and do things with our offense that, you're not expecting, keeping the run game going. And we could definitely, throw it over the top as well. So it was a great showing, man, for the first game being the most hollowed ground in college football.
I mean, it is one of the most hollowed grounds in college football, man. That's not my opinion. Most people.
What does that even mean?
What you mean? What does that mean? That means it's one of the most, one of those places, man. one of those places. The Golden Dome, man. Touchdown Jesus. Like, that stuff is iconic. That's not my opinion. Like, that's real talk. Iconic stuff, man.
Yeah. But no, man, no. It was a great game, man. I mean, well, great showing. I ain't gonna say great game. Let me take that back.
Yeah.
Great showing by Notre Dame, because, like you said, they do got a tough opponent next. And I'm definitely gonna be tuned in on that Notre Dame Georgia game.
Yeah, absolutely. Legitimate chance to win. In fairness, I'll be totally transparent here. I actually picked Georgia to win that game, and it hurt me to do that. But I just believe that Kirby Smart is probably at this point the better big game coach between himself and Marcus Freeman. And so we know how important coaching is in football. And I tend to, I got to give Kirby Smart his due for that. He's just really, really good. And again, Georgia is going to be clearly, although USC had some very good athletes, Georgia's going to be the toughest, most athletic team the Irish have played so far. So they will be tested. And we're going to see just how much Notre Dame has been able to close the gap with, the elite of the elite athletic teams. I'll move on real quick. If you have watched Notre Dame over the years, you can clearly see this is probably the fastest, most athletic team and defense overall that they've had in many years, probably since I started watching them in 1993. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very good matchup. And again, Carson Beck being missing, but you know what else I'll say too is that I believe Georgia has the most drops in the country in their wide receiver class. And that could be big amongst a really elite secondary for the Irish. G, your thoughts? G said, I don't give two squirts about the Irish. I respect that, man. I respect that.
Nah, that ain't it. You gotta read the comments.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tyler.
Yo.
Tyler's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know, man. I really don't, honestly. I've seen Notre Dame has been putting together quite a run, but I haven't really been following the college football scene closely. If the Buffs don't play, then I don't watch. But I did want to see was it SMU? SMU. They got the doors blown off them, bro. Like, and I was like, damn. Like every time I turned the game on, it was like they was down bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like USC. I'm watching USC.
Yeah. We definitely gonna get to that next. But yeah, so that's what I got for Notre Dame and Indiana. It was a great scene in terms of being there, and just they played well. I would have preferred they closed it out a little better, but as Marcus Freeman said, they got some teaching tools there that they can utilize. And he said in the post game, I'm almost glad that it happened because we got some stuff. We can't get too high on ourselves. We got some stuff to teach and to work on and to improve. So that's the attitude that you want to have, man. But Kirby Smart,
really though,
probably the best coach in the country. So
yeah, really? Because it was a minute to go. The game was over.
But think about it, right? So they score, then they get the 2-point conversion, then they get the onside kick. Right. So these are all things that we can look at, and then they score again. So these are all things that as a coach, you can say, hey, you can point to these things and say, well, this game could have got away with us, got away from us. We almost let it get away. Coaches are always looking for things that they can improve on. So, you got that. Notre Dame is what's Tyler saying? Notre Dame is the more talented, better coach version of Georgia Tech, and look how Georgia struggled with them. Yeah, and Tyler, I'm generally with you, but only thing is, man, I don't really believe in the transitive property in sports. Like I get the point because Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech like what 31-13 or something like that. I think they beat them fairly handily, and then Georgia Tech took Georgia to 8 overtimes. But the other thing too is that Georgia Tech, Georgia, that's a rivalry game. And, you got a lot going on there. So you can't really ever truly account for the differences in those things. I
think it's one of those like styles make fights type of deal, right?
Yeah.
I think, Notre Dame and Georgia Tech, they have a similar style. they can beat you with the run game, right? And I think if Notre Dame really goes into this game and commits to that run early, then they can really put Georgia on their heels. And if you can put Georgia on their heels, you have a chance to win. And I think that's what Notre Dame needs. They need that big game win to get that monkey off the back of, the fandom and Notre Dame, school period, that, we can get in these big games and, we could thrive in these big games. Maybe an ugly win, but the biggest point is you getting that dub against a formidable opponent like, Georgia. So.
No doubt. All right, let's move on because y'all know I could talk Irish football all day, but let's go ahead and move on here. Let's get to SMU and Penn State in the second game. That was the noon game yesterday. And to G's point, man, freaking SMU got bodied. I really felt like it was my thought. Yeah, my thought was going to be that that SMU was going to be able to hang in there and play a better game, especially based on back then, like it was obvious. And so when they got hit with the death penalty, I think they got like banned from bowl games for like a long time. They got tons of scholarships taken away. I don't know if their program wasn't allowed to play ball for some years or whatever, but the death penalty, basically they tried to completely destroy the program. And so it's been a long time that they were down, but now they've recently come back up. To the point that you saw them again win 11 games last season, and now first year in the ACC, go to the conference title game. So, very good team, almost won that, and then they get rewarded with Penn State, a quote unquote college football blue blood in the first round, and well, they got handled, but they competed till the very end. I don't think you saw guys rolling over. I just think they didn't have the talent to stand up to those guys. Gee, your thoughts, and then we'll go to Transformer.
Absolute blowout, man. Wasn't the kid wasn't he in the running for Heisman as well? The quarterback?
No.
I don't think he was very good. I don't think he was in the
quarterback was Oregon quarterback.
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, he was a finalist
in Miami.
Cam Ward. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean that was a blowout
by epic proportions. It got ugly fast.
38-10, right?
Like it was two back-to-back pick sixes. I mean, it got out of hand.
21-0. You pass the stick when they go up 21, bro. I lose interest.
Precisely what I said. I'm like, so go ahead and pass it over. Yeah. Go ahead and pass them. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that Penn State we know is one of the best defensive teams in the country. They're up there as well. So sometimes you're out talented and you just can't match up. But again, man, SMU they didn't completely roll over. But look at this. 36 carries for 58 yards. Now, I think a big part of that was, the sacks, because in college, the sacks get counted minus your rushing yardage. So, but man, it was a very good game by Penn State. Drew Aller, their quarterback, he didn't have a great game at all. 127 passing yards, no touchdowns, but also no picks, only 13 to 22. But they didn't really need that, right? They were able to run it 40 times for $189, and that's what Penn State wants to do. They want to run it. They want to play great defense. Still a formula for winning, as much as people want to act like it isn't. Still a formula for winning, and we'll talk about that in the next topic. You have to be able to do it. Eddie B, yeah, absolutely right. NIL before NIL existed, and it's funny. Shout out Eddie B,
man, you, my brother.
Service, brother. Appreciate
absolutely.
You. I ain't even
got these veterans right here on the channel, bro. Absolutely, we appreciate your service.
That's my brother right there.
Okay, he's Signalier too?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. But yeah, NIL before NIL existed. Well, quick side note. Have y'all noticed, because Saban's on College Football Game Day, right? Have y'all noticed that when people like guests on the show go on there, everybody's taking a shot at how saying that the SEC and Alabama was paying people before? Everybody's saying it now. I mean, we all knew
that.
We assumed that it was happening. But everybody going on the show straight out, call it out Saban. I'm like, damn, that's wild. I like it though. I like it because it's good, man. But anyway, all right. So, what were your thoughts on? Did you give your thoughts on this game, Transformer? I know we started.
Did I? I kind of did. I mean, the pick sixes was it. The pick sixes was it.
Pick sixes were
hey, Penn State, but they were supposed to. I mean, not play with your food, man. I mean, the defense set the tone early, and the way you keep the lead, maintain the lead, is by chucking at the ground, running the football very, very, very effectively. They did it. They did everything you needed to do. You did mention the quarterback not doing much, but he didn't need to, right? His defense got him 14 points off the rip. Like, okay, say less. So I don't have to throw myself into no type of trouble. I can, 22 pass attempts. That's fine. Most of them are going to be screens. Or some little slant routes or something like that. Nothing too crazy. And if we get in the red zone, I can show that I can use my arm or something like that. But no, they did what they were supposed to do, man. Defense set the tone early, got him in a double-digit lead, and the run game kept him in great shape the entirety of the football game. And I honestly, bro, I was kind of praying for Jennings at one point, man. He was getting destroyed out there.
Yeah.
Like, he stepped up in the pocket, sack. He stepped back in the pocket, sack. Roll around, sack. I'm like, he was getting chased down. He did only get
sacked 3 times, but he got hit.
He was getting touched a lot, man. He was getting touched a lot, bro.
Yes.
It clearly showed. He was rattled by the pick sixes, and he just couldn't. He just couldn't. Get any type of momentum back into his favor. But Penn State did a great job, bro. Finally,
no doubt. All right, next up, we'll move on to Texas and Clemson. This is a game that I got wrong when I picked it. I picked Clemson here. I just felt like Dabo's big game coaching experience and the fact that, he was coming off an improbable conference championship win in the ACC. I felt like they had some momentum. They had a second life kind of. And I felt like they were going to pull the upset here, but I was wrong. I like the fact that we had a Texas high school championship rematch between Cade Klubnik and Quinn Ewers, the quarterbacks of the Longhorns and the Tigers, respectively. And realistically, Cade Klubnik, he had the better day, 26 of 43, 336, 3 touchdowns and a pick. But Clemson wasn't able to run the football the way they wanted to, 24 for 76 yards. That's not going to do it against a very good Texas team with a lot of athletes, really good defense. Quick side note, have we noticed how successful these teams were playing defense and running the football?
Boy, 292 is crazy work.
Oh, my God. Wait a minute. You mean to say that if you run the football and play defense, you can win games? Really?
Scooby-Doo couldn't even fix that mystery.
Right.
Mr. Weathers.
Take the mask off.
Mr. Weathers.
You crazy kids. No, I love to see that though. Play defense, run the game. And this, even though the final score was 34-28, was actually the closest of all these games in terms of competitiveness. Whoa, I thought I said 38-24. But anyway, I thought it was the closest of in terms of competitiveness of all these games. And Clemson, again, really good team. And I think Dabo is understanding now he's going to have to make some adjustments. Now, he'll never be the guy that's going to completely buy out a team or go too far into the transfer portal. But overall, I think that he's understanding I may need to tweak some things. I can't take such a hard line against transfers, and I can't take such a hard line against NIL if I want to be able to continue to compete at a high level in modern college football. Transformer, we'll start with you. Quick thoughts on this game.
No, man. Clemson celebrated too early. This is one of them games. Clemson came out and they scored. Very, very quick. They got out there and they got the 7-0 lead. But and you did this, but after
you're within one score, like you have an opportunity if you're Clemson to really make this a game. But to your point, man, they couldn't stop the run, and Texas. Texas is known for their beef, and they had that up front, man. They got some serious dudes on that O-line. A lot of size, really, really good, man, really good. And I think that what's their next one? Their next one is going to be Arizona State. I think that's going to. I think they'll handle that without too much problem. They got Arizona State up next, and they'll face the winner of Ohio State and Oregon. Thoughts on this Texas and Clemson?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check that one out, Bruce.
No doubt. Tyler says, and this is a great point, Texas is going to be scary next year with a mobile QB behind that line and all those weapons. And we know who that mobile QB is, Arch Manning, nephew of Eli and Peyton. son of Cooper and grandson of Archie Manning. So,
boy, that's a lot of history right there,
isn't it?
That's a lot of great history,
man. Isn't it?
Is that a lot? You think the pressure gonna hit him?
Yeah, that pressure is crazy.
He doesn't seem to be bothered though. He doesn't appear at all like to be bothered. He doesn't seem to care in the least. So we'll find out.
No, absolutely.
Tyler, I have heard that rumor as well. Now I don't know what's the deal. Marcus Freeman has said he believes that their Notre Dame's quarterback is within the building already. So I don't know, but I don't know, man. I don't know if we want to. I don't know. We'll see.
Get some.
I've heard that rumor as well. Yeah, they're saying that he might end up at Notre Dame via the transfer portal.
Yeah,
after this season. So
I mean, that could get taken out of context so fast, so furiously.
And that's he was doing that on purpose. Tyler, yeah, Arch is kind of swaggy. I completely agree. Like he doesn't seem to be concerned in the least. He just want to go out there and ball. So
yeah. And
the funny thing, he's not the first, but it's funny how that mobility gene that Archie Manning had completely skipped his 2 cents and went to his grand. I think that's interesting. I don't know what to deal with that. His sons did not get any of that athleticism. That's strange. But anyway, last game.
Hold on. Before we go, man, I wanted to give some love. My homegirl, Jasmine Moore, she had family in this game. TJ Moore Jr., man, showed his behind out. Despite the loss, 9 receptions, 116 yards, and a tutty.
Oh, wow.
So, man, shout out TJ Moore Jr., bro. You did you did your thing out there. You put your team on your back, and you did what you could, man. So salute to y'all down in the Keys, man. Well, I know Jasmine's in the Keys. Obviously, he's in Clemson, but big shout out to the Moore family out there.
Shout out, young fella, man. Appreciate your work, man. Keep at it. Keep coming.
Yes, sir. All
right, we'll go to the next game, and that is the last one of this weekend. That was Tennessee and Ohio State, and this was, as Transformer likes to say, this was another butt cutting.
Butt cutting.
I tell you what, this was interesting to me for a couple of reasons, right? First reason was with Ohio State coming off of that upset loss to Michigan, that's 4 straight to the Wolverines for any Buckeye people counting. I think I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying, if Ryan Day and Ohio State lose this opening game, this of course was before it started, I said Ryan Day's going to have to quit. They won't fire him because the AD already said that his job is safe, but he would have had to quit because after these Michigan losses, they're saying like his kid's getting bullied in school, his wife's getting harassed at the grocery store. Like that's how serious this freaking Ohio State Michigan thing is to those people up there, man.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have been able to deal with it. He would have had to quit. So glad that he's got at least one more week of relative peace for his family. But I think the only answer here for Ohio State, especially coming off the Michigan loss, which the Michigan game is all they really care about up there. The only answer for Ohio State is winning the national championship. There's nothing else. There's nothing that can make
even that for them.
Right.
Fans are still not happy. Like I was with my brother last night, and he's an Ohio State fan. I was like, boy, man, Ohio State beating the doors off of Tennessee. He's like, man, screw it, man. This year's already over. We already lost to Michigan. I'm like, wait, what?
Right. That's how.
No, this is the playoffs we talking about. Man, we don't care. We lost to Michigan.
Right.
Like, dang, bro. Like, even if y'all win the title.
Yeah.
We lost to Michigan, bro.
We lost to Michigan. The only thing I think that can, like we said, that can even remotely, assuage some of the pain in this situation would be to win a national championship. That's it. There's nothing else that can make this any better for these guys. So, I totally get it. But yeah, they beat the brakes off Tennessee, which I love. I love to see an SEC team lose anytime it can happen. I'm all about that. But yeah, they bodied Tennessee, man. They did what they were supposed to do and completely shut them down. And we heard all this talk about Tennessee having their elite defense. They have an All-American edge rusher. I think his name is James Pierce, and Mel Kiper has him as one of the top guys on his big board and all that. Nico Emaleva.
I can't pronounce it either.
Right. I was practicing it. Literally was practicing it. When I first saw it, I was like, his name is Emaleva. No, Emaleva. Nico, their quarterback. Nico, I apologize. I don't want to keep butchering your name. I really did try many, many times. But the point is, he had a terrible game. No touchdowns, but he didn't throw any picks. 14 for 31 from 104. The guy's got a bright future. The kid's really good, but just not a good game at all. But Ohio State, they played the game on their terms, right? They were able to really take advantage of their elite perimeter speed and weapons and do what they do. Will Howard, 24 of 29, 311 passing yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Just a really good day overall. They ran the ball 33 times for $156. Now, they have an elite defense, but Tennessee still was able to run the ball respectably well, right? 39 times for $152. But overall, man, they weren't able to do what they needed to do. Their number one running back, Dylan Sampson, he got injured, had to go out the game, wasn't able to come back. He was, I believe, SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, he caught a hammy. And so, tough sledding for him, man. But Ohio State did what Ohio State is capable of doing. And now we will see a rematch from earlier in the season in the second round where they will play Oregon, and that should be in the Rose Bowl. And it's funny, that's actually a traditional Rose Bowl matchup, right? Because Oregon, who would have been the winner of the Pac-12, if the Pac-12 is still in existence, and of course, Ohio State, who was, one of the best teams in the Big Ten. So that would have been a traditional Rose Bowl type matchup. So you're going to have Ohio State and Oregon in the next round. But not too much to say on this game, man. You got anything before we look a little bit forward to the Oregon Ohio State matchup?
Obviously, we're just going to look to the future, right?
Correct.
This was another one of those getting your back blown out games by Tennessee, and it came out early. It came early, but it is what it is. You're gonna call it like a spade, call it a spade. But Ohio State really did just show dominance over Tennessee. They're receiving in. I mean, every time I saw a Buckeye catch the ball, I'm like, bro, somebody about to get torched. Somebody about to get cooked. Whether it was a fourth, they were up 21 points going for it on fourth down because they knew Tennessee couldn't stop them. They just knew it. Like, you can't stop nothing that we're doing. We're gonna run the football. We can throw it on you. Obviously, Will Howard 311. 24 for 29. Let Lamar Jackson numbers minus the interception.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was and then the interception really wasn't even on him. It actually hit his receiver's hands. He bobbled it. It went up in the air, and then you got picked off in the red zone. But still, man, they just showed pure dominance over the Volunteers. And like you said, Sampson, he caught the hammy early, and he wasn't even able to be any what of a factor being down 21, because obviously, not saying the run game can't pull you back, but it's a whole lot tougher when you have to try to rely on just the run game and not your passing attack to come back when you're down 21. So Ohio did what they were supposed to do, man. I'm definitely excited to see, this Oregon game. Tennessee got a lot of growing pains to, go through with next season. Nico, I'm not even gonna try it.
Right.
I'm gonna try, but Nico, it was some growing pains for him as well. He got hit a lot in that football game, but it was just one of those games where Ohio State just showed how dominant they were, really.
Nico Iamaleava.
Oh, you got it. Say it again.
Don't ask me to say it again. You just go ask me. Nico Iamaleava.
Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Iamaleava. I think that sounds right.
I believe
Nico
so. I believe that's
Iamaleava.
But we will continue.
Nico, if you ever see this channel, bro, let us know.
Right.
Let us know. We got it.
Yeah, and if we are butchering your name, please, we try to be respectful of names here.
Absolutely.
We are really trying to get this right, brother.
My last name is a fish, so
yes. My last name is an emotion.
You got hope?
Right.
I hope. Oh man. But no, man, this is it was a lot of butt cuttings this week, but obviously I'm just happy about people just getting their opportunities, man. Teams getting their opportunities. That's what the main part about this being a 12-team playoff, hopefully 14-team playoff. Just giving schools that had the outside looking in, just like, oh, they're gonna pick Bama, they're gonna pick Georgia, they're gonna pick Ohio State, they're gonna pick Michigan over us. Like, we're not gonna have that opportunity, but now you have that ability. Hey, go win your conference. You can get into the playoff. And I think that's a great way to put it. Because I can go undefeated, win my conference, I got a shot. My team did what they were supposed to do all season, and not to be judged by who I was playing against, but to be judged by giving me that opportunity. And if I get smacked in the playoffs, hey, you gave me the opportunity. Thank you. Right.
I earned it. Now you gave it. I earned the opportunity. Exactly.
Yeah, I earned this opportunity. So, but yeah, man, shout out to, them getting something right finally.
No doubt. Gee, you got anything on right. You got anything on this Texas Ohio State before we move on to the next topic?
I do not. I think you guys covered it. Yeah, I would only highlight the things that y'all said.
Call of Duty?
No doubt. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I don't play Call of Duty, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trash at Call of Duty, so obviously I'm not on it right now.
Okay.
That's my boy Fox and Millie right there.
No doubt. All right, so what I want to do real quick, I'm going to open up the phone lines right quick. We'll take one, maybe two, if anybody's interested in calling in and giving your thoughts on the first round of the college football playoff. Disagree with anything we said, anything you're looking forward to in the next round. Real quick, it sucks that we're going to have to wait like a week and a half for the next games, man. I thought it was like next weekend. I'm like, damn, wait a minute, the first? Well, I know Notre Dame don't play the Sugar Bowl till the first. So I'm like, come on,
it
man.
is the first. I thought it was the 28th.
Man. Yeah, it's like 10 days. I'm like, come on, man.
Jesus Christ. Penn State, well, Tuesday is the next game.
Okay.
So that'll be the 31st. So we'll get New Year's Eve and New Year's Day bowl games.
There you go.
Penn State, Boise State on 31st, Texas, Arizona State, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Georgia is going to be Wednesday.
So Penn State got really good defense. You think they can shut down Ashton Genty? Right.
Every team has tried this year.
Right. Ashton Genty got like $190 against Oregon.
Yeah, man.
and Oregon won that game on like a last-second field goal. So
and there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder.
That's right.
He thought he was supposed to win the Heisman, so he probably going to go put foots in him.
Put foots in him.
Put foots in him. Like,
you're right.
I need 37 carries. I'm about to run this football.
Give it to me, Paul.
Man,
that's right. Yeah, hand me that rock. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get right next to the next topic. I don't think we're gonna get any calls on that. So